the chosen one. Lean in. This is not a random scroll or a passing whisper. Heaven has set its gaze upon you because your mother is written into this moment. I feel the nearness of a holy urgency, like the air, right before rain, pressing on this very second with one clear decree. There is healing in motion for your mother now, not someday, not when conditions are perfect. A divine hand is already reaching into the place that's been aching, lingering, or feared, and the Almighty is speaking comfort over you and restoration over her. You have carried this burden in the quiet. You've prayed over hospital corridors, kitchen tables, and dim rooms where the clock seemed louder than your hope. You have tried to be strong for everyone, yet you've wondered, who is strong for you? Hear me, the Lord Himself has been holding what you've been holding. He has collected your late-night tears and turned them into oil for this hour. There is a crown on your head. You did not ask for a mantle to stand in the gap. You are not ordinary intercession. You are appointed intercession. The Father saw when you laid your hand on your mother's shoulder, even when no one else believed that small act mattered. In heaven, that moment thundered. In the unseen, that touch became a command. Angels moved, peace gathered, and power began to flow toward the very place doctors called complicated and time called stubborn. Listen closely, anointed one. I am not here to flatter you with soft words. I am here to announce a collision, your faith meeting God's timing. The ground beneath your family is not breaking apart, it is breaking open. Where fear tried to build a room, the Spirit is building a door. Where reports stacked up like walls, the Word is leveling them like shadows. And even now, a warmth, a calm, a subtle shift is coming to the atmosphere around your mother's body. Some will call it gradual. Heaven calls it inevitable. You are rare because you stayed when retreat would have been easier. You are set apart because you chose to pray when silence felt safer. You are called higher because you refuse to surrender love to the pressure of dread. This is why this message found you. This is why your heart is burning as you hear it. You are not late. You are right on time for the turning. I will not unveil everything at once. But know this, a sign is coming, and it will look like rest. Where there's been unrest, laughter. Where there's been tight-lipped worry and strength returning like dawn after a long night. Be still. Feel the shift. The one who called you is about to speak for himself. Breathe. He is near. The same presence that hovered over the waters now hovers over your home, consecrating the hours ahead and marking your mother's name with merciful light. This word does not rise from human optimism or wishful thinking. It comes from the one who cannot lie, the Ancient of Days, who writes endings in the beginning and calls healing forth as easily as dawn. He is Yahweh Rapha, the Lord who heals, whose very nature is restoration. He remembers the fragrance of every prayer you prayed, and He keeps covenant to 1,000 generations. His voice carries through hospital curtains and quiet bedrooms alike. He does not need permission from diagnosis to be God. Hear the heartbeat behind this message. It is the Father's love, announcing itself. He is not distant or cold toward your pain. He is the God who bends low, who counts breaths, who stands at the foot of beds and speaks peace to nervous systems that forgot how to rest. He is the God who anoints pillows with sleep and circulates hope back into weary veins. When he says now time yields, when he says live cells remember their assignment, you have asked, Lord, is it really? You consider how he has been approaching you through small kindnesses that arrived on heavy days, through scriptures that found you twice in 1 week, through the inexplicable calm that settled over you in the middle of bad news. These are not accidents. They are breadcrumbs of faithfulness leading you to this unveiling. The shepherd has been walking you to this moment, one step, one whisper at a time. I testify, not as an observer, but as a witness. I have stood in rooms where fear sounded louder than prayer. I have watched monitors blink like arguments against hope. Yet I have also seen the tide turn with a sentence from the Lord. I have watched color return appetite, awaken sleep descend like a soft blanket, and strength gather itself like an army. Every time the origin was the same, his word arrived and matter obeyed. Let your heart settle under his authority. He is not negotiating with darkness. He is commanding light. He is the God who speaks to chaos and renames it order, who steps into storms and tells them, you will not have the final word. He sees the family history, the medical history, the cycles that tried to repeat, and he declares, it stops here. Not by might, not by power, but by his Spirit. Receive this as covenant language, not suggestion. The Lord is attaching his name to this promise that mercy will visit like morning, that clarity will replace confusion, that recovery will not be fragile but rooted. He will teach you how to partner, how to bless the process without idolizing it, how to listen for gentle course corrections, how to keep worship louder than worry. You are not alone in this room. Angels are present as ministers, not mascots. They are arranging help, guarding rest, and escorting fear to the door. The Father is near enough to catch every sigh. The Son is interceding. The Spirit is brooding over the waters of your mother's body, saying again what he said in the beginning, let there be. Let this settle in you. Like a cornerstone, the author is speaking, and creation is listening. Lean closer, the decree is taking shape, and what was hinted is about to speak plainly. I see a table the color of early morning, and upon it a small lamp that has burned through many nights. The flame has been faithful, but tonight it grows brighter without more oil. This is the sign where your supply seemed insufficient. Grace is multiplying on its own. Your mother's name is written in that light, and I hear the Spirit say, I am visiting her house with restful power. The prophecy is this: a wave of holy rest will enter your mother's body, like rain soaking a long, thirsty garden. It will not crash with theatrics. It will arrive like a gentle tide that refuses to recede. Muscles that forget how to unclench will remember softness. Breath will lengthen. The mind will quiet from unhelpful loops. A slow reset begins, like dawn sliding its fingers across a window, and the room will feel different to you, even if nothing else has changed. That difference is not placebo. It is presence. I see 3 touches coming like footsteps. The first touch lands on the head clarity, subduing agitation fog lifting from thought fear, losing its argument. The second touch rests upon the chest, breath deepening rhythms evening, the heart rejecting the counsel of panic. The third touch settles on the lower body foundation, strengthening circulation, becoming obedient, hidden processes aligning with peace. These touches are not metaphors alone. They are a choreography of mercy, timed and layered building toward visible change. You have asked, "How will I know watch for laughter?" You did not prompt, soft, unforced, almost surprised. It will rise like a bird, startled into flight, and it will mark the turning. Your mother will recall a memory she hasn't spoken in years, and even that recall will carry medicine with it, like warmth traveling through chilled rooms. She may say, "I slept differently," or "Today felt lighter," or simply, "I don't know why, but I'm okay." Do not argue with it. Bless it. Agreement is a gate. The Lord shows me a door with 2 locks, report and routine. Reports have named the mountain. Routine has enthroned it. But a key is being placed in your hand. The key of worshipful agreement. When you thank God aloud for every micro shift, the first lock turns. When you make one small change to the atmosphere, scripture on the lips, gentle music in the room, kindness scheduled like medicine, the second lock releases. The door does not creak, it opens clean. There is also a wind blowing against the curtains, though windows are shut. Do not be spooked by the strangeness. The Spirit loves to remind you that boundaries are suggestions to the one who made them. This wind will sweep out the stale and usher in the new, and with it comes a sense that the house itself has exhaled. Windows will look clearer. Colors will feel warmer. It is not nostalgia. It is re-enchantment. The home remembering it was built for life. I see a pitcher and a cup. The pitcher is heavy with water, but the cup has a crack you feared would waste the pour. Hear the word of the Lord, I mend as I fill. Do not delay the pour while you search for a perfect vessel. As you speak, blessing as you pray, simply as you act with tenderness, the crack is knitting under the stream. The repair will happen during obedience, not before it. There is a clock on the wall that has felt cruel. Its second hand accused you. Its minutes judged you. Its hours mocked your longing. The Lord takes the clock down and turns it over. On the back is a word, Kairos. The moments you called empty were secretly arranged. Meetings you thought you missed are arriving on different calendars. Expect sudden alignments. Phone calls that return at just the right time. Prescriptions that adjust with unexpected favor, schedules that open like parting waters. These are not coincidences. They are escorts guiding the promise into the visible. I hear the phrase, day 3. It may be the 3rd sunrise from now or the 3rd notable step in a process, but day 3 will carry a resurrection sign. Something assumed, fixed will flex. Something assumed, distant, will draw near. Something assumed, fragile, will prove strong. Do not clutch the sign. Let it lead you. Signs are not trophies. They are trail markers. The prophecy also addresses your own body. The strain you have carried like a backpack of rocks, the shoulder tightness, the pressure behind the eyes, The low, constant hum of fight or flight is being lifted as part of this healing. The Lord refuses to restore your mother while leaving you depleted. As she rests, you will rest. As she recovers, you will remember how to be a child and not just a caretaker. This is as holy as the miracle in her blood and bones. There is a garden path I'm shown bordered by lilies that endured frost. They look tender, but they have survived a hard season. The Spirit says, so has she. Resilience is not the same as resistance. Resilience bends and returns. Your mother will bend toward joy again. Conversations will lengthen. Appetite for food, for company, for small rituals will stir. The body follows the heart, and the heart follows the presence. Yet even as I speak, heaven guards its mystery. Not every detail will be published to your mind. This is mercy, not obscurity to frustrate you, but secrecy to protect you from needless warfare. What you need to know is given. What you don't need will unfold without your supervision. Your part is lighter than you fear, and heavier than you think lighter, because God carries the outcome heavier, because your agreement carries weight. Finally, I see a page turning without a hand. The chapter title is Simple Recovery. Beneath it, a subtitle appears, not by haste, but by holiness. This healing will not demand frenzy. It will invite wonder. You will tell the story in future days and realize you never had to wrestle the miracle, only host it. The word stands a tide of rest. 3 holy touches, a door opening, and day 3 as a bright stone on the path. Hold these lightly, bless them boldly, and watch the house breathe again. Breathe into the stillness. Meaning is rising like dawn behind the hills. Rest is not merely the absence of struggle. It is the presence of government. When heaven speaks rest over a body, it is declaring that anxiety will no longer legislate the internal world. This is why the tide is gentle yet sovereign. It does not negotiate with chaos. It reorganizes creation. Rest is the Sabbath heartbeat of God echoing inside mortal frames, 6 days of strain, quieted by the 7th day's decree. Your mother's healing is not just the easing of symptoms. It is the enthronement of peace where panic once ruled. Peace is not passive. Peace is a king wearing calm as armor. Where he sits, storms run out of vocabulary. Consider the 3 touches as a holy architecture. The mind, the chest, the foundation, thought, breath, and stance, these are the 3 gates by which fear either enters or is expelled. Heaven is closing the gates to torment and opening them to truth. The head receives clarity, so lies have nowhere to nest. The chest receives rhythm, so breath can agree with blessing. The lower body receives strength, so standing becomes worship. These 3 touches also whisper of holy pattern, Father speaking truth over thought, Son granting rest to the heart, Spirit empowering the walk. Not a diagram to study, but a dance to inhabit. The door with 2 locks is the parable of partnership. The first lock report reminds us that names matter, but only one gets the final naming rights. We honor information. We do not enthrone it. The second lock routine shows how habits can keep old altars burning even after the idol is gone. Worshipful agreement is the key that turns both at once. Thanksgiving is not denial, it is jurisdiction. When you thank God for the smallest turn, you are granting His government permission to advance its borders in your home. Praise is not a mood, it is a deed filed in the court of the king. The wind through closed windows teaches a tender audacity. Spirit wind breath goes where he pleases, ignoring barricades we mistake for final. You wondered if your prayers were too late, if the window had been shut by time or fatigue. But the breeze says, I am unbarred. This is the theology of surprise grace does not request access. It authors it. The house exhaling is the soul remembering its original blueprint to be a sanctuary, not a siege. When curtains move without cause, understand. Covenant is moving through your atmosphere, dusting the frames of hope and polishing them with promise. Mend as I fill reveals the sequence of heaven. We ask to be repaired before being used. The Lord pours and heals in a single motion. This is the mercy of concurrent grace. The crack does not disqualify the cup. The water dignifies the repair. Obedience becomes the operating room. While you bless, the fracture knits. While you lay a hand and whisper simple prayers, the unseen sutures align. Perfection is not the prerequisite. Surrender is. The miracle meets you in motion. Faith is not the absence of tremble. It is the decision to pour while trembling. Kairos stamped on the back of the clock unveils the difference between chronology and covenant. Chronos counts seconds. Kairos counts significance. Chronos asks how long, Kairos asks how full. You feared you were running out of time. Heaven answers, you are running into timing. Delays that felt like deserts were actually nurseries for endurance. Appointments that slipped became alignments that stick. The sacred calendar often flips at midnight when no one is looking, so that in the morning you wake inside a day that was hidden until it arrived. When favor calls, at the exact minute you had given up, do not call it luck. Call it leadership. Day 3 is not superstition. It is the pattern of the kingdom. The third day carries resurrection logic. What looks settled is summoned to stand. Seeds crack and rise. Jonah emerges. The bridegroom reveals glory at a table. The son steps out of the grave, not rushed, not late. Day 3 is a mercy to the human frame, just long enough to exhaust self-salvation, just short enough to preserve hope. If a third appears, a third sunrise, a third step, a third report, read it as liturgy. The God who writes creation in triads is reminding you that restoration is not improvisation. It is choreography. The lilies along the path, soft yet frost-tested, interpret resilience. Holiness does not harden the heart. It strengthens the roots. Winter taught them to drink from deeper aquifers. So with your mother, the season that looked like subtraction trained her to receive from wells fear cannot siphon. When appetite returns, when conversation lingers, when small rituals tea sunlight by a window, the folding of towels feels sacramental. Again, recognize the theology of ordinary glory. Heaven often wraps breakthrough in familiar cloth, so that gratitude can learn to live daily, not just in headlines. Storms and doors, seasons and journeys. These are not poetic categories. They are the grammar of transformation. Storms expose foundations. Doors reveal allegiances. Seasons teach patience. Journeys cultivate presence. Your role inside this grammar is agreement without micromanagement hope, without hurry attention, without obsession. Stand at the threshold and bless the door. Sit under the changing sky and bless the season. Walk the path slowly enough to notice lilies you once hurried past. Healing is not only destination, it is the holiness of how we arrive. Understand, too, that legacy is woven into this hour. The rest that enters her body will echo through your lineage, teaching children, not yet born, what peace feels like in the bones. A healed nervous system becomes a new family dialect. The house learning to exhale becomes a school where future hearts study safety. You asked for relief. God is writing curriculum. Destiny is not only the crown you wear, it is the atmosphere you bequeath. And you, intercessor crowned in secret, are being midwifed by this miracle into your own becoming. The burden that bowed your shoulders is being converted into a mantle that will not exhaust you. You will speak rest to others with authority, not theory. Your testimony will not be dramatics. It will be steady bread handed out on long days. Expect strangers to feel safe around you for reasons they cannot name. Expect rooms to quiet when you enter. Peace is transferable. You will carry it like weather. Finally, hold wonder close. Mystery is not the enemy of faith. It is its cathedral. You are not required to solve every symbol, only to steward what they awaken. The tide of rest, the three touches the door, unbolted the wind, the cup mended mid-pour, the clock turned to Kairos, the third day glimmer. The lilies each is a stained glass pane inside a single window called mercy. Stand in that colored light and let it paint your fear into praise. Step softly. Assurance is gathering, and the path ahead is lit from within. Band an eye. Scan the horizon of small things. Answers often land like birds, quiet, definite, already home. First watch for the house to exhale. A breeze will move curtains, though no window is open, or the room will suddenly feel aired out after days of heaviness. This is not theatrics. It is the Spirit announcing occupancy. You may notice dust motes turning in light like tiny lanterns, or a softness settling over the furniture. When the atmosphere shifts toward gentleness, say out loud, "Welcome, Prince of Peace." Agreement makes it linger. Second, listen for unforced laughter. It may be faint at first, a smile that finds her without being chased, a chuckle at a small memory, a warmth that loosens the jaw. She might recall an old story, misplace a worry, or giggle at something ordinary, and you will feel the room tilt toward joy. Do not dissect it, bless it. Joy is a courier of wellness. Let it deliver its package without interrogation. Third, expect sleep to change its language. Rest will come like rain that does not ask permission. She may doze at unusual times or wake saying, "That was different." Dreams may become quiet waters instead of thunderstorms. Even if the night is not perfect, watch for new rhythms, fewer startles, deeper sighs, a body no longer braced like a soldier at midnight. When that happens, tuck gratitude beneath her pillow with a whispered "thank you." Fourth, a simple appetite will reappear. Not a feast, perhaps a very specific craving, a sliced pear warm broth, a favorite tea. Honor it like a sacrament. Prepare it as if you are hosting presence, because you are. As the body remembers, pleasure without fear, pathways of health brighten. You will notice color in her face rise like sunrise meeting the cheekbones. These are not small. They are the kingdom arriving in teaspoons. Fifth alignment will knock often by phone. A call you have been awaiting a provider with unexpected availability. A prescription adjusted with favor. A friend who just felt to check in. The timing will be suspiciously precise enough to make hope sit up straight. Receive it as choreography, not coincidence. Say, we accept the gift and step through the open door without apology. Sixth, the word will follow you. A verse will emerge twice, in one day. A song lyric will echo a scripture, or three will recur on clocks and receipts as a quiet nod to the third day promise. Do not chase signs. Let them wave as you pass. Mark them, smile, and keep walking. Signs are trail markers, not cul-de-sacs. They steady the pace. They are not the destination. Seventh, your hands will learn warmth. When you lay a palm on her shoulder or hold her fingers, you may feel heat bloom, not from strain, but from anointing. This is not to make you a spectacle. It is to remind you that you are a conduit. Speak softly. Peace to your mind. Breath to your lungs. Strength to your frame. The body recognizes blessing like a native language and will answer with little nods, tension easing, breathing, lengthening, eyes softening. Finally, your own fatigue will betray its departure. The backpack you forgot you were carrying, the pressure behind the eyes, the tightness in the neck will lighten. You will notice you're humming again, cleaning without resentment, planning tomorrow without dread. Your rest is not a side note. It is part of the miracle. The shepherd gives sleep to those who watch over his beloved. Keep a small ledger, not a courtroom record, but a gratitude journal. Note, each sign without dramatics, the breeze, the laugh, the nap, the tea, the call, the verse, the warmth, the hum. As pages fill, fear will have fewer places to perch. Read them back to your own heart. When nights feel long, they will sound like footsteps of God moving through your house. Walk gently. Some doors open best to quiet hands, and you carry the key. Step carefully. The path is good, but some stones are meant to train your step, not turn your ankle. Before the promise blossoms in full, certain pressures may rise like last waves before calm. Do not mislabel them. These are tests, not punishments. Calibrations, not condemnations. The first challenge will be subtle backlash in the atmosphere, a day that feels oddly heavy. After a string of light ones, a sudden return of anxious loops that you thought had gone quiet. When this happens, picture a fire being tempered. Steel is not weakened by heat. It is strengthened and shaped. Say aloud, we remain in peace and refuse to chase every intrusive thought. What you ignore by faith often starves faster than what you fight in fear. Second voices of expertise may overreach their borders. Reports have their lane, but fear loves to borrow their badge. You may hear phrases that sound definitive, unlikely rare long road, and feel your heart shrink. Remember the two locks. Honor information. Enthrone none but God. Answer the report with worship, not argument. Father, Thank you for wisdom, and thank you that your name is higher. Peace dismantles exaggeration better than debate. Third, expect fatigue to make old habits look reasonable. Weariness is crafty. It whispers, skip gratitude today. Postpone prayer. Postpone the walk. Postpone the small joy. Postponement is a thief with clean hands. Counter it with small, stubborn obediences. A 3-sentence thanksgiving, a single verse spoken over the room, a cup of tea served like a sacrament. Tiny flames keep houses warm. Great fires are usually many small ones agreeing. Fourth, the temptation to micromanage may surge. Love wants to help, and sometimes it tries to become control. You might feel the itch to correct every detail, explain every symptom, inspect every expression for evidence. Be gentle with yourself. This is care learning its holy boundaries. Your assignment is atmosphere and agreement. Outcomes belong to the Lord. Breathe bless and step back half a pace. Control narrows rooms. Trust opens windows. Fifth, not everyone will understand the change. Some will recall the worst days and speak from them expecting relapse. Others will call your hope naivete. Do not argue testimony into those who have not tasted it. Keep your language soft and your gaze steady. We are seeing mercy is enough. Your steadiness is a sermon their words cannot outpreach. Sixth time, we'll play tricks. On certain hours, progress will feel invisible, as if the needle refuses to move. In those moments, remember Kairos stamped on the clock's back. Chronos is loud. Kairos is loyal. Read your ledger, the breeze, the laughter, the sleep, the tea, the call, the verse, and let memory escort hope through the quiet parts of the day. Seventh, your own body may protest as the burden lifts. Caretaker. Adrenaline does not quit easily. It asks for one more crisis to justify its pace. You may feel restless for no reason. When that rise comes, walk it out literally. Step outside. Face the sky. Breathe until shoulders soften. Tell your nervous system, stand down. Peace is now our rhythm. Your calm becomes medicine for the room. Eighth, there will be holy boredom. Healing done by holiness, not haste, can look like repetition meal meds. Gentle walks, early nights. Do not despise the unspectacular. Repetition is rehearsal for stability. Each ordinary day is a stitch. Many stitches become a seam that doesn't split under pressure. Finally, be alert to the enemy's old disguise, accusation dressed as responsibility. It says, if anything slips, it's on you. Reject it kindly and firmly. You do not sustain miracles. You host them. Hosting requires humility, consistency, and joy, not heroics. If you stumble, return quickly. Heaven doesn't revoke promises over minor missteps. It tutors you through them. Take courage. These challenges are confirmations that the ground is truly changing. Tests appear where thresholds are real. Endure them with a quiet, practiced yes. Sing small songs. Keep short accounts. Let kindness govern tone and pace. The house will learn your rhythm, and your rhythm will learn his. Walk on obedience is still the shortest road to wonder, and the next instruction is already approaching. Steady your hands. The way forward is simple, sacred, and strong. 1. Set the table for presence. Each morning, before decisions and data consecrate the day. Stand at your mother's doorway or beside her bed and say, Jesus, this room is yours. Prince of Peace, preside. Open a window, if weather allows, or light a small, unscented candle for 15 minutes. As a signal to your own heart, government has shifted. Do this daily. Atmosphere is a habit. 2. Keep worship within earshot. Choose one worship song or one psalm and let it live softly in the background during key hours on waking mid-afternoon and evening. Do not blast it. Let it breathe. The goal is not noise, but nurture. When lyrics and scripture share air with fear, fear loses vocabulary. 3. Pray in sentences, not speeches. Your authority is not measured by word count. Lay your hand gently shoulder forearm or the back of her hand and pray 3 lines slowly. Peace to your mind, breath to your chest, strength to your frame. Then wait 30 quiet seconds. Let the prayer work, like medicine taken faithfully, not frantically. 4. Bless micro shifts immediately. When she laughs, when she asks for tea, when sleep lands easier, respond at once. We bless that. Thanksgiving is a gavel. Strike it quickly so heaven's verdict stands in the room. If the moment seems small, all the better. You are training your eyes to honor the kingdom's scale. 5. Choose one gentle ritual and keep it daily. A walk to the window, a 5-minute sunbath, a warm cloth across the brow, a short reading of Psalm 23. Routines are rails. The train of recovery runs straighter upon them. If a day is rough, shorten the ritual. Do not drop it. Continuity is quiet courage. 6. Guard the door of language. Speak about her in future present. She is recovering. She is resting. She is gaining. When reports arrive, acknowledge them without enthroning them. We hear the information. We align with the Lord. Correct yourself kindly when fear phrases slip. Words are architects. Let them build rooms that faith loves to live in. 7. Make a 2-column card. My role, God's role. On the left, write worship, gentleness, encouraging meals, small prayers, gratitude, patience, honest updates. On the right, write outcomes, timings, cellular repairs, hidden alignments, resurrection power. Keep this card where you can see it. When anxiety tries to cross the center line, send it back to its lane. 8. Establish a gratitude ledger. Use paper, not just memory. Title it Mercy in Motion. Each day, add 3 lines only. Do not embellish. 2-hour nap. Smiled at an old story. Doctor returned our call. On hard days, reread the past week aloud. Memory escorts hope better when it has ink to hold. 9. Build a simple peace kit. Place in a small basket. A soft worship playlist. Q. A printed psalm. A gentle herbal tea. A comfort object she loves. A scarf photo or small pillow and a card with your 3-line prayer. When tension rises, do not scramble. reach for the kit. Repetition is a kindness to the nervous system. 10. Practice the 3-breath turn. When worry spikes, stop where you are. Inhale and say in your heart, Abba. Exhale, I belong. Inhale, Jesus. Exhale, you reign. Inhale, Spirit. Exhale, be here. Then proceed. These 20 seconds often accomplish more than 20 minutes of frantic management. 11. Bless the day. 3 moments, without clutching them. If a third sunrise brings freshness, or a third step in a process yields favor, mark it and move. Say, we recognize resurrection pattern, then carry on with steadiness. Signs are for steering, not camping. 12. Invite help on purpose. Choose one trusted person to share brief updates with you weekly, not to rehash fear, but to reinforce faith. Send them a photo of the gratitude ledger, a single prayer request, and one praise. Isolation frays focus. Fellowship braids it strong. 13. Tithe your attention to joy. Give 10% of your daily attention to something that has nothing to do with symptoms. A clean corner of the room. A good sentence in a book the way light lands on a cup. Joy is not denial, it is diet. A soul fed only by vigilance will starve of wonder. 14. Ask for wisdom, like rain, not lightning. Each morning, pray, Lord, give us wisdom, one step at a time. Expect guidance to arrive as steady impressions, not just dramatic moments. If an adjustment is needed, medication, timing, appointment, scheduling, room arrangement, you will know by a peace that remains after the thought, not just during it. 15. Seal your evenings. Before sleep, speak a benediction over the house. Tonight, we dwell in safety. Angels stand watch. Our rest is blessed. If fears rehearse in the mind, read Psalm 121 or 91 slowly. Sleep is a sanctuary. Treat it with liturgy. 16. Refuse the trap of comparison. Do not measure progress against someone else's timeline or yesterday's drama. Healing by holiness often looks unspectacular until it suddenly looks undeniable. Your assignment is faithfulness, not spectacle. 17. Prepare a testimony file. As milestones appear small and large, write them on separate slips and keep them in a jar. On anniversaries, holidays, or after a challenging day, pour them out on the table and read them. Testimony multiplies like seed when scattered across time. 18. Keep kindness at the center. Speak to her and to yourself with tones that do not bruise. Recovery thrives in gentleness. If impatience surfaces, repent quickly and replace it with soft words. Love is medicine that never overdoses. 19. Give God His glory and the team their thanks. When professionals help, say, we're grateful for your care. When God moves, say, all glory to Jesus. Gratitude honors people. Worship enthrones the King. Keep both rivers flowing. 20. Stand still when the wind moves. If you sense the Spirit's nearness, a hush, a warmth, a sudden quiet pause, the task, and attend Him. Miracles often land on people who stop long enough to receive them. Hold this path. Each small obedience is a rung on the ladder, and the next assurance is already approaching with quiet feet. Settle your shoulders. The keeper of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps, and his watch has already begun. You are not walking a thin ledge over darkness. You are crossing a well-guarded bridge. On either side stand sentinels, mercy on the left, goodness on the right, escorting you and your mother, step by steady step. The covenant is not a fragile string. It is a woven cord of many strands. The Father's promise, the Son's intercession, the Spirit's indwelling. Even when you feel ordinary, this covering is extraordinary. You are not depending on your grip of God as much as His grip of you. See the house as a lantern in the night. Its walls are thin to your eyes, but heaven has thickened them with peace. Angels keep the thresholds. Anxiety checks its weapons at the door and finds them turned to flowers by morning. Do not imagine a pitched battle in every room. Imagine a king seated ruling with calm authority. Where he sits, storms grow embarrassed and back away. Where he abides, fear loses its vocabulary and stands speechless at the gate. Protection will feel like softness returning to hard places. You'll notice it in tiny mercies, an easy parking space at the clinic, a nurse with gentle hands, a schedule that suddenly fits your life instead of fighting it. These are the fingerprints of a God who cares for logistics as much as longings. The shepherd does not merely anoint heads. He arranges paths beside still waters, then guards them, so the stillness isn't stolen. Your mother is not shielded only by prayer, said once. She is wrapped by presence that remains. Think of a warm shawl placed over weary shoulders. The fabric doesn't argue with the cold. It outlasts it. That is how grace guards. And you, intercessor, are covered too. Caretakers often stand uncovered in the rain while holding umbrellas over others. Not here. The same wing that shades her shades you. The same peace that steadies her, steadies your pulse and quiets the pressure behind your eyes. When night grows louder, assurance speaks in a softer key. Read Psalm 91 slowly, not as a spell, but as a surrender. Let its syllables become furniture, dwelling, abiding, shelter, shadow. Say, we dwell even when the room is restless. Say, under his wings, even when the mind wants guarantees. Assurance does not demand spectacle. It receives reality. The Most High is not visiting. He is hosting you. If fears accuse, what if this slips? What if we lose ground? Answer with the ledger of mercies. Protection is not proven by the absence of wind, but by the boat that doesn't capsize. Point to the breeze that moved curtains, the laughter that returned, the sleep that deepened the call that aligned. These are not luck. They are locks, clicking on the safe where promises are kept. Heaven is not improvising rescue. It has already built rooms called refuge and named your family as residence. Guard your language at the borders of fatigue. Weariness loves to prophesy worst-case futures. Replace it with benedictions that fit inside an exhale, Peace presides here. Mercy holds us. Jesus is near. These sentences are not denial. They are jurisdiction. They remind every cell and every shadow who has the deed to this house. And when the unexplainable nearness comes a hush over a mundane task, a warmth in your palm, as you pray a stillness that slows the clock, give it room. Do not rush through the holy to keep up with the ordinary. Assurance often arrives as presence before it becomes proof. Stay for a minute longer. Let peace finish its sentence. Nothing vital depends on your perfection. Everything vital rests on His faithfulness. You will not miss a miracle by blinking, nor break a promise by breathing. You are held. She is held. The story is being told by a gentle narrator who does not drop threads. Be at rest. What is guarded can grow, and what is sheltered can bloom. See it now. The seed you guarded has broken open, and the first green is above the soil. Transformation will not shout. It will hum. You will notice it when the mornings stop arguing with themselves. The room that once wore worry like a coat will look lighter, as if windows were widened in the night. Your mother will sit a little straighter without realizing it, touch her own arm, and say, almost surprised, I feel okay. The ordinary will glow as if an unseen switch has been turned on. The 3 touches mature into 3 testimonies. In her thoughts, clarity begins to braid with calm. Conversations grow longer without fraying. In her chest breath becomes an instrument instead of an alarm. Notes of rest, measures of steadiness. In her foundation, strength gathers like trustworthy shoe. She rises, she stands. She takes the steps that used to ask for a committee of courage. None of this demands spectacle. All of it declares sovereignty. You will catch the evidence in tiny rehearsals of freedom. A laugh that returns twice in 1 hour. A nap that restores instead of erasing the day. A desire to taste something she loved before the long seasoned broth with ginger, a slice of pear tea in her favorite cup. Appetite is worship when fear has been fed for too long. Receive it as a hymn. Alignment will begin to act like a friend who knows the schedule. Calls return at better times. Paperwork finds fewer reasons to wander. Professionals speak with language that matches your prayers, and you won't need to correct them. You'll only need to say yes, that. Mercy will keep time like a metronome you no longer resent. What felt like pushing a river becomes stepping into a current that carries you both. The house itself will memorize peace. The chair by the window will become a small sanctuary. A blanket will smell like reassurance instead of hospital light. You'll find yourself cleaning, not because of dread, but because joy wants the room ready. Guests will comment without knowing why. It feels safe in here. They will exhale mid-sentence. You will smile because you recognize the wind. Your own body will tell the story too. The pressure behind your eyes will retire. The backpack of alertness you wore to every appointment will slide off without being stolen. You will plan a day and not apologize to hope for doing so. Songs you forgot you loved will find you. You will read a page and remember the sentence tomorrow. Your nervous system will choose soft chairs over sentry posts. Legacy becomes tactile. Children will notice that the house changed dialects. They will nap deeper on the couch. They will draw pictures with wider skies and steadier trees. The family calendar will stop sounding like an emergency broadcast and more like a liturgy. Meals sunlight, walks early nights gratitude. Recovery will not merely fix a moment. It will tutor the future in how to breathe. There will be a day 3 glimmer you did not manufacture. Perhaps the third morning in a string of easier nights, or the third visit where progress speaks first. Something long assumed stubborn will become soft to the touch. You will not hold it like a trophy. You will carry it like a candle. The path ahead will show itself one pool of light at a time, and that will be enough. Do not be surprised when purpose rises from the healing, like steam off fresh bread. Your mother will begin to bless again. Words that steadied you as a child will reappear with new oil. She may tell you a story you've never heard, and inside it will be a map for tomorrow. The mantle you wore in intercession will refit as invitation to speak peace over others, to turn waiting rooms into chapels, to teach praise that fits into an exhale. Fulfillment will carry both song and stillness. Some days will crescendo appointments that confirm strength, that holds laughter, that spills into the hall. Other days will drape themselves in quiet, long, easy afternoons where nothing dramatic happens because wholeness doesn't need headlines. Both are holy. Both are evidence. Together they write a chapter titled Kept, and gratitude will become fluent. You will bless the meals that stayed warm, the sleep that stayed kind, the hands that stayed gentle, the presence that stayed. You will pour the testimony jar on the table and realize it is heavy with slips you barely remember writing. This is the weight of goodness. This is what it feels like when promises take on body and breath. So let the story stand without over-editing. Let peace keep house. Let joy learn the floor plan. Let your steps slow to the pace of answered prayer walking around the room. You are not bracing for the next blow. You are learning the choreography of rest. The King has not only guarded you on the bridge, he has brought you to a meadow and spread a table. Eat, laugh, breathe, live. Be ready. What is fulfilled now asks to be sealed, and your mouth is the vessel that will carry the blessing. Let your mouth become the seal, and your breath the ink. What is spoken in faith is kept in grace. Speak these aloud slowly, morning and night, and whenever the heart reaches for a hand to hold. Affirmation 1. Peace presides here. Let it settle over rooms and routines. Say it until chairs remember and pillows obey. Affirmation 2. Jesus is near, and healing is here now. Not a forecast, a fact, because presence has arrived and refuses to leave. Affirmation 3. I agree with heaven's timing for my mother. Holy, gentle, unstoppable. Agreement is a gate. Keep it open. Affirmation 4. Under his wings we are kept today, tonight, and the days to come. Kept is not temporary. Kept is covenant. Now lift your hands, no strain, just surrender and receive the benediction. I bless your mother with the government of peace, that her mind keep the clarity it has tasted, that her breath keep the rhythm it has learned that her frame keep the strength it has gathered. I bless her nights to be friendly and her mornings to be kind. I bless her appetite to meet joy at the table and her laughter to find her without being chased. I bless her steps to be steady, her rest to be deep, and her body to remember its original song. I bless your house to remain a lantern light within warmth upon sanctuary throughout. May angels keep the thresholds. May kindness speak the loudest language. May worship hold the deed. Let the breeze of the Spirit move when windows are closed, and let the word be heard even when lips are tired. May every corridor echo with the soft certainty the Lord is here. I bless you, intercessor turned witness, with unhurried courage. May your shoulders release old armor. May your nervous system learn the liturgy of calm. May your yes remain simple and your gratitude specific. Receive wisdom, like rain provision, like friendship and favor, like a door that knows your name. I seal every sign already given and every sign yet to come under the name of Jesus. I speak day 3, grace over processes and Kairos alignment over calendars. Let no accusation cancel what mercy has authored. Let no fatigue edit what praise has written. What has begun by holiness will continue by holiness and finish by holiness. Now, by the authority of the crucified and risen King, I decree shalom over your mother and over you. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. From this hour, may protection be your weather assurance, your ground, and joy, your bright companion. Go gently, go gladly, go kept. Amen.